Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. The thing I notice first in the run-up to this new moon is Jupiter shifting into Gemini on the 11th of June. Jupiter about expansion, openness, therefore acceptance, the receiving of new ideas and new ways of saying things in Gemini, the assimilation of the old so that more can be taken in. In Gemini particularly, which is about movement, there is the letting go of things when they're no longer relevant. The letting go, clearing out, making space for the new. Particularly in terms of communication, it's bringing a lot more lightness and positivity to our thought processes. More laughter, more wit, movement easier. So perhaps a stream of actually doing the things that we've been planning and getting rid of the plans that we can't accomplish fast. There's a playfulness with Gemini, fresh air. So Jupiter will be in Gemini for the next year. It starts off this first week or two being at right angles, squaring the Neptune and Chiron, particularly Neptune. So the sense of idealism could be expanded, like once again daring to hope for solutions so that we can all communicate our truth to each other safely. The danger of perhaps going a little too far, of being over-idealistic, but it being equally sad to deny the possibility of warm, positive solutions. This is our second new moon in Gemini. This time the Sun is moving towards a trine to Neptune, and certainly in the next few days after the new moon, the Sun will trine Neptune and then Chiron as it joins Mercury going through Cancer. It's as though the heart's in the right place, and what we need to watch out for would be over-celebrating, becoming unrealistic to the extent of being foolish. As long as we bring our sensitivity and emotional perceptions, our empathy, our rapport, as long as we bring these with us, we'll be able to ride this seesaw between huge movements and huge communications and huge positivity and the counterbalance. Following that second Venus transit of the Sun, Venus is now retrograde, approaching the South Node. This would be again going back over old relationships, perhaps checking things out. More communication, more caring. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury in Cancer is squaring Saturn at this time in this chart. It may be that our emotions, our feelings, will force relationship issues. Getting back to the heart in a way, taking what's true and working with it rather than ignoring it when we don't like how it looks. Endeavouring to actually beautify that which has been spoiled before. Those feelings that we'll be speaking from with Mercury sextiling Mars in Virgo could be that inward push to make things right, to make things better again. And both these planets are moving towards the next signs to change quite quickly. Mercury on the 26th of June goes into Leo, another positive lift of communication, warmth and fun and laughter. While Mars on the 3rd of July moves into Libra, having spent many months in Virgo. Mars in Libra will be that drive to improve things without knowing quite how to do it, so a hesitation in action, trying not to rock the boat in relationships. So until then we still have the desire to improve, to perfect. Let's not use it to criticize. And the big thing, at last, Pluto and Uranus for the first time actually make that square. It happens on the 23rd, 24th of June, and it's the first of 7, because they're both moving forwards, alternating in their retrograde movements and forward movements. They cross this square 7 times. We've been feeling it coming for years. We've been feeling it coming all this year. The tightness, the need for new solutions, the need to be brave, to stab out at something we've not tried before in order to make something positive of the mess that's been revealed by Pluto. Often the absolute moment of exactness of an aspect in astrology is like the eye of the storm. There's a lot of activity going on beforehand, and it can almost feel like, at the time, a couple of weeks of, well, what's actually happening? And it can also be the revealing. The eye of the storm perhaps shows what has happened so far clearly before the whirl of activity as we go through and out the other side. The focus that's been striking me is the football, the violence, Poland and the Ukraine, violence rising from the past, white supremacy, anti-black, anti-Jew, and particularly the fact that it seems to be unacknowledged by their authorities, although they say that they won't allow such violence. The violence is clear, and the whole world can see it. And also another focus is Syria. If these are the points of intensity that the whole world can see, the dreadfulness and the impossibility of such behaviour leading anywhere, and possibly also the money market, and particularly the way the euro is struggling, if that's the right way to say it. There are the things which appear so obviously not working, and yet which are continued with by intelligent people, so that, just like with the violence, we're left almost open-mouthed. Pluto is not about solving problems. It reveals them. It throws them up from the depths where they've been hidden. Uranus is bringing flashes of light to those situations so that we can see, but it also is not about solving them. The solutions can only come from human intelligence, of the finest, wisest kind, the intelligence of the heart. You will know that phrase, a problem cannot be solved on the level that it manifests. You have to be at a different level to solve it. And the sun and moon in this new moon chart, lining up beautifully with Neptune, is suggesting that at the heart of situations, at the heart of our considerations and sharings, we need to have a trust that spirit is life, is growth, is expansion, and given honesty, clarity, acceptance. The transformation makes itself. The situation transforms within itself. All the pieces for transformation are necessary, and all those necessary pieces are there. But life is the architect. On the human level, there need to be humans who are sensitive to what life is asking and apply the solutions intelligently. So here we can speak about the world and what ought to happen and shouldn't happen, and we need to remember, of course, that all of this is true for each individual in differing degrees, different parts of the problems or solutions or enjoyments operating more or less in different people, depending how our own astrological makeup fits the moment. But we're all involved. If each one of us can bring some of these ideas to bear in our own lives, we are actually making a difference to the whole. Venus on the South Node, coming from love, coming from a kind communication, kindness, gentleness, interest, perhaps particularly interest in the people we interact with, finding out about other ways, so there can be lots of different ways. Perhaps the Tower of Babel could have been built if people had been patient and used other ways of communicating than language, showing smiles, laughter, moving past problems, onward to different ways, and continually allowing the past to flow away, water under the bridge. There's always more life flowing towards us. We don't need to hold on to what has been. And Jupiter in Gemini is giving us a beautiful taste of flowing with the moment. Take a break. Put your concerns on one side. They will not lose their flavour for a day or two. Open to the possibilities around you. Which way would you like to go today? Is there someone you have been meaning to contact? Check the distance. Look up train timetables. Find someone to take care of the cat. There is a need for personal space, for there is where your inner truth resides. And without exploring it from time to time, how can you know what is true? Be in your space now. Sense your degree of tension and where in your body it focuses. Breathe deeply into that place, feeling the tension dissolve. And breathe out the need to grip onto your life. Let yourself taste the idea of freedom for a day or two, and smile at what you might do with it. Your personal pleasures and chosen occupations are as important as any work you do. Share yourself in little ways with those you love, and you will be fortified for the times ahead. The only loss to beware of is the loss of your true self.